Attention passionate LAS, Vegas Raiders fans, latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Las Vegas Raiders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Las Vegas Raiders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and LAS, Vegas Raiders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL offseason is always a period filled with anticipation, rumors, and strategic moves. But this year, especially for the Las Vegas Raiders, things are heating up in a way that's hard to ignore. There's been a lot of talk lately about the direction this franchise is taking, and the whispers coming out of the team's headquarters suggest that we're on the verge of some significant changes, not just for this season but for the future of the franchise, perhaps even reshaping how the Raiders compete in the AFC West and beyond. And if you're a diehard Raiders fan, you already know this team has a rich history of resilience, of fighting against the odds, and of making bold moves when it counts. So what's the latest? First off, let's talk about the current state of the team. The Raiders, coming off a somewhat rollercoaster 2023 season, have been quietly working behind the scenes to retool and rebuild. The fans, the analysts, everyone's been watching the roster moves, the draft picks, and the free agency signings with a keen eye. And it's no secret that the team's front office has been aggressive in their approach, making strategic decisions that could very well pay dividends in 2025 and beyond. The focus has been on strengthening the defense, adding versatility to the offense, and perhaps most importantly, bringing in leadership that can guide this team through the rough patches and into the playoffs. Now, speaking of leadership, one name that's been making waves is Mike, the head coach, whose vision for the Raiders has been both ambitious and pragmatic. His approach revolves around building a team that's not just talented but also disciplined and adaptable. Over the past couple of seasons, we've seen flashes of brilliance on offense, especially with the emergence of some young stars, but the defense has often been a point of concern. That's why recent offseason moves have been so crucial. The Raiders have been investing heavily in their defensive line, bringing in veterans and promising rookies who are expected to make an immediate impact. This shift in focus indicates that the team is serious about not just making the playoffs, but making a deep run once they get there. And let's not forget the players. The roster is loaded with talent, and some key figures are entering critical phases of their careers. For instance, the quarterback, who's been the centerpiece of the offense, has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has been an issue. The coaching staff and the front office are clearly aware of this, and there's been a lot of talk about how they're planning to maximize his potential. Meanwhile, the defense has been bolstered by draft picks who are known for their speed and playmaking ability, which should significantly improve the team's ability to stop high-powered offenses in the AFC West. Now, the AFC West itself is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in the league, with teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, and Denver Broncos all making moves to improve. The Chiefs, of course, remain a powerhouse, especially with Patrick Mahomes leading the charge, but the Raiders are no longer content to sit back and wait for their turn. They're actively trying to close the gap, and recent reports suggest that the team might be eyeing a bold move, perhaps a trade or a high-profile signing that could give them a real edge. The goal is clear: disrupt the established order and prove that Las Vegas is back in the conversation among the NFL's elite. What's particularly exciting is how this all ties into the team's long-term strategy. The Raiders have always been a franchise that's not afraid to take risks, to think outside the box, and to embrace a culture of resilience and innovation. The recent developments point toward a future where the team is not just trying to win games, but to build a dynasty, a team that can compete at the highest level year after year. The front office's focus on youth, combined with veteran leadership, could be the perfect recipe for sustained success, especially if key players step up and stay healthy. Now, let's talk about some of the players who could be game changers in 2025. The quarterback already mentioned has shown flashes of brilliance but needs to become more consistent. If he can do that, he could be one of the league's top signal callers, especially with the talent around him. The offensive line has been a point of concern in previous seasons, but recent upgrades have bolstered their protection, giving him more time to make plays downfield. The running back group is deep, and with a mix of veteran experience and young talent, they're poised to be a force on the ground. On defense, the addition of new pass rushers and defensive backs will be critical. The Raiders have been focusing on speed and agility, emphasizing players who can cover tight ends and shut down the run. The coaching staff has also been implementing new schemes aimed at increasing turnovers and creating more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. All of this points toward a more aggressive, opportunistic defense that could turn the tide in close games and help the team secure more victories. But beyond the X's and O's, what truly has fans excited is the sense that the Raiders are positioning themselves for a big leap forward. The culture of the team, the leadership, and the offseason moves all suggest that the 2025 season could be the year they truly break through. The division is tough, no doubt, but with the right combination of talent, strategy, and a bit of luck, the Raiders could very well be contenders for the Super Bowl again. And that's what every fan dreams of, seeing their team rise from the ashes, defy expectations, and bring home that long-awaited Lombardi trophy. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering about the key players to watch this season. Besides the quarterback, keep an eye on the young wide receivers who have been developing rapidly. Their chemistry with the QB could be a game changer, especially on third down and in the red zone. The tight ends are also expected to have a bigger role in the offense, adding more weapons for the passing game. On defense, the defensive line's depth and speed will be crucial. Players like Max Crosby, who's been a consistent sack artist, will need to continue disrupting quarterbacks and setting the tone from the front. And let's not forget the coaching staff. Mike, the head coach, has been praised for his adaptability and ability to motivate players. His game plans have evolved over the years, and he's known for making adjustments during games that catch opponents off guard. His leadership will be critical in close contests, especially in the tough AFC West battles. The Raiders also have a talented offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, both of whom are expected to have a significant impact on the team's development this year. Looking ahead, the expectations are sky high. Fans are dreaming of a postseason run, maybe even a deep playoff push. The team's management has been vocal about their ambitions, and all signs point toward a motivated, hungry squad ready to prove doubters wrong. The AFC West is fierce, but the Raiders have the talent, the grit, and the willpower to challenge the best. The offseason investments and strategic moves have set the stage for an exciting year. And if everything falls into place, we might just be witnessing a resurgence of the Raiders' glory days. So in summary, this offseason has been a turning point for Las Vegas Raiders. The team is not resting on its laurels, they're actively reshaping their roster, sharpening their schemes, and aiming for higher goals. The division is tough, the competition is fierce, but the Raiders are making all the right moves to rise to the top. The excitement among fans is palpable, and the anticipation for the 2025 season is building. This is a team that's hungry for success, and they're doing everything they can to make their fans proud, to bring that Super Bowl trophy back to Las Vegas, and to etch their name once again in NFL history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Las Vegas Raiders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Las Vegas Raiders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these developments? Do you believe this team is finally on the cusp of something special, or are there still concerns that need to be addressed before we can truly call them contenders? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion is so important to us and to the Raiders community. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Las Vegas Raiders news. The journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. Let's keep the passion alive and keep supporting our team every step of the way. This franchise has a rich history, a passionate fan base, and a bright future ahead. The Raiders are heading into a new chapter, and it's one you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and as always, Raiders Nation, stay loud, stay proud, and let's go for that Super Bowl.